Yeah, and this was really simple to make. You could use just a ruler, like, I mean, literally. If you, I just do it on the computer, but if you're somebody who's maybe doesn't have access to a computer, copy paper and a ruler, and I just like would line it and then just line it up, line it again. And the reason why you see a lot of people do this, it's just more simple to keep your proportions consistent, or like as you're drawing and turning characters, it just makes it a lot easier. So I like having this. Let's see here. Oh, and by the way, like I looked at actual photos of mice. I'd drawn so many mice before for something else that I was just like, it's almost like when you just do something over and over again, your brain just muscle memory and everything. I tell people like you draw something over and over again and you just get a better sense of it. So the mice I had, because not only that bookmark project, but I'd drawn mice before, like I'd done a ton of them. So let's see here. All right, drawing utensils. Everybody's different about this. Everybody has a personal preference about what they like to draw with. I actually prefer drawing usually with mechanical pencils because I'm lazy and I don't like to sharpen pencils very often. But with that said, sometimes I want something that has a little bit more, I don't know, I guess more of a point to, as far as a more sturdy point, because sometimes as I'm pressing and I'm drawing, and yeah, you want to draw light till you get it right, but you know, it happens. These break off a lot, and then I just want a really darker line, and so I do my little Blackwing pencil. These are great. I think I paid like $20 for it. But anyway, so I'm gonna get to drawing here, and I have my pencil sharpener. They're on the side, and I'm thinking about what else I could have them doing. Oh, I should do a turnaround. I should do a turnaround based on what I have here. That would be nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is better. So, yeah, I decided I think I'm going to try to do more videos. I figured out some things that I had been having issues with video editing, and I thought a lot of it was because of my age of my computer, but a lot of it was for other reasons, like where I was exporting files to. I was like, oh. Anyway, so let's talk about drawing things. And so you can see how I started with simple shapes. This body, a lot of times in animation they talk about this bean shape. This is great illustration too, but you'll see this a lot with people who do character designs. I love doing the bean shape. It works really well for children. It works well for animals. You know, if I wanted to break it down further, I guess I could have done that for the torso and then the hips. But I just really like the bean shape. It works really well. And I took an animation class, and that's where the professor was like, you know, here's 3 or 4 different ways of drawing something, which I found really helpful because then you can figure out which way works better for you. So see how this is nice, and I can try to line things and keep things the mass similar, so it really does help. So I found this was very helpful in terms of keeping my character drawings more consistent. Now, obviously, I should have given this more space. So, I forgot about the ears, mice and their ears. So maybe I'll create another character. I also talked about making sure you have joints for things. So it's like literally stick figure. I think I want my hands to. And I think a lot of this is just you play with something over and over again, you draw it, and you figure out, like, what do you like, what do you not like? Do you want those here? I also will draw on the floor. Like if this is the ground, I found this is really helpful. Like if you have like a square, like this is, some people will take it even further. So like he's like a cube and he's taking up this space right here, right? I especially like to do this with the feet because the feet, they get kind of wonky if you don't, at least for me, they get wonky. So if I do this, I can ground it. You see how I use that to ground feet? And yeah, and so even the side view here, if I know that this, right? And that way, as things recede in the distance, you're making sure that they are correct. Like it makes visual sense as far as like, oh, those feet, because see, if because sometimes you'll see like feet get kind of a little wonky at the bottom. So that really helps. Also make sure, I feel like he would fall over. So another thing, make sure your characters, I think his feet are just a little too big. And then it's just adjusting, but still keeping it within that. There we go. Some people don't do, I've seen character designs where they don't. I like personally drawing the side of the arms. See, that needs to go up higher. So I always feel like it's constant adjustment. This is almost here, and then I would want, or I could bring the arm down. Oh, I need my eraser. And I'm always constantly refining things, so it's like, I usually have bigger erasers. So this will be my rough, and then I will draw over it. It's important to remember this is, I don't know, it's just a rough idea of what you want to get down. Maybe just a little bit, and then I want to accentuate that bean. Okay. And I'll even measure things out, because if I want to make sure how far those ears would go back to me, it's really going to be cutting it close. See, and I'm using these for guides. All right, snout thing. Okay, so I tend to like, and I do this on people, everybody's different, but your nose sticks out, and I just keep it simple. So I'm just gonna go for that coming up like that. And then here, pulling the old Mickey Mouse thing. And if I wanted to, draw this line of symmetry here. So I can see where I'm off. So I'm literally making sure, like, where do things line up? Oh, he needs a tail. So in this case, actually, I want him doing this. So actually, let's do the tail as if he literally was a turnaround. See, and there's the line there. And then these are all just guidelines. See? And then I got my, and maybe I want to curve this a little bit more. There we go. My arm could be brought up a little bit because let's see here. Where is the tip of the hands? Yep. And I use my own hands. I'll act it out. It's always good to do that. Okay. So I would do, the next would be 3/4, and I would give myself more space on this. So 3/4 is, so still doing the bean shape. Oh, by the way, this stuff, you know, I didn't invent this. This is like, I did a book review of this, but I really love this book. And if I remember correctly, yeah, this is a great book, and he does a great job of explaining how you would do the turnarounds, and I literally just do what he suggested here, and my drawings got so much better. But yeah, Steven Silver is the author, and he is a well-known character designer, and so excellent resource for doing character design. So I highly recommend that. There's some other ones that I've seen, like I think it's 21 Draw. Like I eyeballed one of those classes. I was like, that looks amazing. So I will have to literally, you know, some people even do this. They'll do the cube fully broken down. And sometimes this is helpful too. So I always tell people there's more than one way to do it. Just because I'm showing this way, there's a million ways, and you've probably noticed that on YouTube. And so with this, I probably would change like the foot here, and then I might do, so with this one, I could do something like this. I need to make sure, is he gonna, let's see, he's gonna fall over. If I feel like that's right, actually the arm's a little bit too big too, actually. And this is one of those things, I like small hands. Some people like bigger hands. And this is another thing you can do. Oops, turned it off on accident. I'm gonna turn that back on. So the mass is the same size, so I can just go back and reference that if I want to. Then I'm gonna go back, and then I have to remember that the feet go up. So I need to probably drop it about, what's the difference? And there is a little bit of knowing your proportions. So I'll just like, so I can use what I already have. want to do my other. Where's this one? It's a little too soft. I know, it's kind of weird to be this picky, but then I'll bring this up, line it up with the head, and I'll bring this up a little bit more because I think the head was off, right? It was too high, so I'll just actually that's a little too high here. Does that work? Yeah. Okay. Do my ear. Tail. I can just go over here if I want. Have that part go out a little bit more, and I'll erase this line going through the leg. Anyways, I need more width